Good evening. I'm Felix Lebesky. Welcome back to SL Tonight. Tonight, we leave the Sisters of Satan behind and turn to one of the most ruthless gangsters of the Prohibition-era, a man who ruled New York's underworld with violence, ambition, and pure cold blood. This is the true story of Dutch Schultz. From the pages of famous crimes, let's begin. Dutch Schultz. Crime was his business. Dutch is two plainclothes men. Don't let them get me, Bo. Into every racket sponsored by the Underworld, every dubious source of easy money, crept the slimy fingers of Dutch Schultz, calling for his cut. Physically a coward, Schultz would demand it and bluffed his way into millions of dollars, backed up by the smoking guns of slower-witted torpedo men who didn't have the intelligence to fear death. October 23rd, 1935, Dutch Schultz called a meeting of his business staff and bodyguards in Newark, New Jersey bar. Come on, Abba Dabba, make with the figures. How'd the policy racket pay off today? We came out ahead, Dutch, but we got clipped for $5,000 on the par mutual number. What do you mean we got caught for $5,000? Weren't you down at the track? Easy, Dutch, easy. I did my best. I totaled the figures before the machine did, and when it came out to go G5 to 60 G5, I found out the number had a heavy play. Crime was his business, but on October 23, 1935, fate stepped into the New Jersey barroom to help settle Dutch Schultz's account. I put another bet down on a horse to change the totals. It just turned out that the new number was hit, but not half so hard as the other one. Alright, forget it. What was the take for the day? 37,000, 3350, 981, 1472, 1 for a grand total of... Hey, hold it. Looks like trouble. Get 'em, Bo. Don't let 'em come near me. Better get the books out. Ugh. You boys want some juice from the heater? Oh. Throw lead at 'em, Bo. They're after the boss. Dutch, the back way. Oh, I don't want to die. Kill 'em. Stop 'em. Keep your head down, boss. I can handle these. That's the last of his rodmen, Schultz. Come out and take your medicine. Don't you even want to see who's throwing lead your way, Dutch? Push that table away before you close your eyes for the last time. I don't know what you guys wanted to do that. Let's scram out of here. Schultz is done for. He ain't ever going to push anybody around ever again. The police, hurry. There's been a shooting here. 3 men killed and Dutch Schultz is dying. Oh, it's burning a hole in my chest. Dutch Schultz was removed to a hospital in Newark, and a valiant attempt was made to save his life. Try to think, Schultz. Who did this to you? Give us a lead and we'll bring him in. I'll take a... Get away, dirty rats. This will quiet him a little and give him a chance to rest. He's delirious. We may get a lead out of what he says. I'll put a man on detail here. A few minutes later, get yourself a chair and sit next to him. I want a stenographer record of everything he says. He may be out of his head and talk nonsense, but get it anyway. Right, Captain. And so the long, lonely death watch at the bedside of Dutch Schultz began. Here's a mouthful of fingers for you, you dirty rat. Huh? What? Sure, Pa. I'll do it for you. I know you'll give me a break. I wish I were like you, Pa. All the boys look up to you. Yeah. As Dutch Schultz raved in his delirium, the parts of his life began to fit into a pattern in the shorthand notes of the police officer, beginning with Schultz's younger days at the Criterion Club. What do you think of that shot, Dutch? Not bad, huh? Mark Poff was an extortionist and bank robber, and the young Schultz worshipped him. I got a job for you, kid. If you want to break in right, you'll take it. It'll pay off. I know you'll give me a fair break, Poff. What's the deal? Mark Poff and Dutch Schultz slipped into the back room of the Criterion Club pool hall. You'll need this heater. You're going to take care of a guy up in the Bronx who's been holding out on me. He runs a crap game and he ain't been paying off. I'll teach him. Don't worry about that. Dutch Schultz was more than a little nervous executing his first commission in crime. His raid was clumsy, almost a failure. Come on, Rock, spill a little honey and bring home some money. Alright, boys, you're faded. Watch out, some punk's trying to crab the game. As the book smashed into his face, Schultz involuntarily tightened on the trigger. No white stuff. Ah! I had my hand. Everybody throw your free cash into the pot. This game ain't been paying its cut to Mark Poff. I'm gonna wipe out back payments that are due. One more move to queer me and I'll toss lead for keep. Seconds later, I'm backing out that door and closing it after me. First guy out is gonna catch every slug in this rod. Later, back at the Criterion Club. You did a good job, Dutch. Here's something for your trouble. I'll throw more work your way. I like the way you handled this. Job was easy. Those guys were scared stiff. Dutch Schultz pulled more jobs for Mark Poff, his hero, and then branched out on his own. His first independent operation was burglary. This is gonna make a nice haul. I was pulling Poff's jobs for him and making peanuts when I could have. Wait, the cop siren. Either somebody see me or I tripped an alarm. Good thing I figured on using this fire escape for a getaway in case something like this happened. Wouldn't it have to work out this way? A jam on my first job. I'll cut down the back alley and over the fence into the other street. I gotta lose myself fast before the cops spot me. You're a little overdue, boy. I've been waiting for you to drop down from that fire escape for over a minute now. Don't grab for your rod, just come for your feet very slowly with your hands over your head. Schultz gave his name as Charles Harmon, and under that name he was sent to Blackwell's Island where he was an unruly prisoner. Take it back! I won't eat this slum stew they've been throwing at us. I'm sick of this crow. I can't stomach the Jamaican grounds they've been tossing around. In his cell, Dutch Schultz was even more obstreperous. Bad. How'd you like that, you lousy bums? Just a sample of the music you'll get every day I spend in this can. Go on, get the word, and tell 'em who's banging the cell bars. As a result of his attempts to make trouble, Schultz was transferred to West Hampton Farms where he made good on a jail bail. It ain't no skin off your teeth. Go ahead, seal the bag. I want to ride right down the chute into the laundry truck. Okay, Dutch, if that's the way you want it. Seconds later, the laundry bag containing the body of Dutch Schultz shot down into the truck, taking laundry to the city. Okay, that's all I could take this trip. I'll be back tomorrow for the rest of the load. Just outside the prison farm, Dutch Schultz made good on his break for freedom. No can is gonna keep me locked up. That air smells good. It was getting hot in that bag. Another couple of minutes and I'd have to cut my way out even if this truck was in the middle of Sing Sing. I'll lose myself fast in these woods. When lockup time comes around, they're gonna find I'm missing and they're gonna go hunt. Dutch Schultz's escape was short-lived. He was captured and resentenced. Forced to serve his time, he began the organization of a gang behind bars that was to be the nucleus of his underworld empire. Come in with me, though. When we get out of stir, I got ideas. None of these small-time stuff for me anymore. If I gotta do another stretch, it's gonna pay. Count me in, Dutch. I can tip you off to some good boys, too. Schultz also recruited a mathematical wizard by the name of Haversack Abadabba, convicted embezzler. Your brains, Abadabba, will guarantee that we make every racket pay off. You figure the angles, and we'll work the deal. Released from prison, his gang organized, Dutch Schultz immediately began to move in on the rackets. Dutch first muscled in on the distribution of beer. You and your brother are quitting the beer racket. There won't be any room when I start sending my trucks around. Got that, Joey? I don't get nothing, Dutch. As a result of Dutch Schultz's ultimatum, Tony Roffo retired from the beer racket, but Joey Roffo remained, fighting Schultz until the bitter end. Pull up to the side of the road or this typewriter is going to rip you and the cab of that truck apart. Seconds later, you're going to have to learn a lesson, Joey, that you'll never forget. When I get through with you, you never look at another case of beer again. Dutch Schultz and his triggermen took Joey Roffo to the back room of Speakeasy in the waterfront section, where they went to work on him. Let me go, Dutch. I promise I'll get out of town. Work him over good, Bo. I'm going to put the finishing touches on this job. In a gesture that was barbaric and stupid, Dutch Schultz taped Joey Ruffo's eyes with gauze that had been smeared with an infectious substance. I said you'd never look at another case of beer again, and I meant it. You'll be blind, Joey. Blind. No! No! Blind gaining control of the beer racket in New York, Dutch Schultz moved quickly to expand his new empire, turning his attention to the labor union. Bo, there's a racket that's still untouched. Millions being paid in dues to a union. I think we're going to move in and get our slice. Window cleanings first, then the rest of the union after that. A few minutes later, you boys got a union president? I'd like to talk to him. He's on the job today. He should be around the 50th floor somewhere by now. Their boss must be some punk. Can't take enough money out of this racket to get him off the job. He's got to sweat with the rest of them polishing windows. He ought to be easy to handle, Dutch. Later on the 51st floor, Dutch Schultz and his boot guard found the head of the window cleaner's union. I'm Dutch Schultz. I got a proposition for you, and I won't beat around the bush. I want you to turn over the financing of your union to me. You can be president, but I run the outfit. Sorry, mister, but it's no deal. I got an honest union. Bo, you know what to do. Come on. Hey, get away from the straps. Don't let me fall. Ah! You just talked yourself out of your job and your skin, buddy. Dutch Schultz bullied his way to the top of the Underworld heap. Nothing stood in his way. Even the bodies of innocent children were a price that society had to pay to satisfy his business, like murder. There's Jip, leaning up against the door that died. He's our meat. Dutch wants him splashed all over the street. Get ready to pick up speed when I open up with the chopper. Get down on the sidewalk. Hey, mister, want to buy a cup of lemonade? Eee! Step on it. The kid got in the way. The newspaper detailed the slaying of the 5-year-old child, and public feeling ran high against Dutch Schultz. Police bludgeoned their way through steel doors of June 18, 1931 to make a raid on Schultz headquarters. Let's go. Not one of those murdering rats is going to slip out of this trap. We're going to hold these coppers off. Get your rods. Hey, my hand. The next man to reach for his gun will catch a .38 slug through the middle. Get those men with Schultz's business books. The DA wants those ledgers. Police were searching for Dutch Schultz, and he was hiding under the protection of Bo Flagger. One night, however, 2 plainclothes detectives spotted Schultz and his bodyguard. Bo, see him? We're being tailed. Get your rod out. Keep him off me. This may be a rub-out job. I'll blast him, Dutch. Start moving down the street. Slowly. Come on out. Give me a beat on you, you dirty rats. I'll burn a hole. Ah, Dutch, I caught lead. Hold it, Schultz, or you'll get the same treatment for resisting arrest. This one will be alright. He's just got a flesh wound. You're under arrest, Schultz. Don't shoot me, will ya? Don't kill me. I'll do anything. Don't blast me. Whining, complaining, pulling every sob story at his command, Dutch Schultz was pulled in by the police. Schultz's freedom was quickly engineered by a smart lawyer and rejoined by Bo Flagger. He recommended operation. You sure this racket is foolproof, Abadabba? It's guaranteed, Dutch. No possibility of our taking a loss. A few minutes later, the policy game pays off on the last 3 numbers of the total wager. If that number has a heavy play, I step up at the last minute with another bet, $2 worth, and the whole total changes, and we get a new winning number. Convinced that Haversack Abadabba had figured a system of mulleting millions out of dollars annually from the people who bet on the numbers, Dutch Schultz began a campaign to take over the industry. Sure, fellas, I can take a bet on the numbers for you. What do you want to play, a quarter? Talk fast. 2 clicks, your take. Hours later, Louis, you got the policy slips and the day's take for me. Whoa, what gives? Don't make any noise, Sonny. Just relax and you'll enjoy the ride as you go with us to see your boss. Later, I'm a small operator, Dutch. I can't buck you. Whatever you say goes. From now on, you're working for me. You collect from your agents and turn your take over to me. I'll give you a cut, and in return you get all the protection you need, and a guaranteed territory. There was some in the Underworld, however, who resented having to turn over their policy operations to the supervision of Dutch Schultz. I won't come in. You're not going to take a racket that I built up the hard way. Slap! What I say goes. If you don't come in, you're going to have that pretty map of yours rearranged. That was just a sample. Give me trouble and you'll have a board full of spikes smashed in your kitchen. Come on, let's go. Give me time to think. In Lulu Ben's, Dutch Schultz met a deadly opponent, a woman gangster who'd part with her ill-gotten gains only at the point of a gun. Round up all dealers for a meeting. They may want to go in with Dutch Schultz because they're scared, but I won't let them. He won't push me around. Later at a meeting of independent policy racket operators, Lulu Ben set in motion the execution of Dutch Schultz. If you don't have any guts, you can walk out now. If you won't rub out Schultz, I'll do the job myself. All I ask is that you go along with me. I'll put a man when he's set up. I'll put a man work tailing Schultz, and when he's set up, I'll have you join me in rubbing him out. A few days later, Lulu, I'm over in Newark. Dutch is over across the street in a joint with his boys. They're having some kind of business meeting. This is our chance if you act fast. Within half an hour, in front of a Newark bar, Don't give him a chance to open his mouth and try to beg off. Burn him up with hot lead. Come on, boys. Seconds later, there goes Dutch. Pour it into him. Get Bo Flagger. He's the killer. Later, Dutch Schultz lay on his deathbed in a Newark hospital, babbling away his delirium snatches of his life, recorded by a police stenographer. It's all over now. He's gone. He spilled everything but the name of the person who ordered his execution. But we'll find out sooner or later. Eventually, all gangsters end up this way, big and small.
There is a baby.
The end. And that was the rise and fall of Dutch Schultz, a man who built an empire on fear and died by the same violence he lived by. True crime from the golden age, restored and narrated. If you enjoyed this one, let me know which famous criminal you want next. Full classic comics available at www.sltonight.com. Thanks for watching. This has been Felix Levesky for SL Tonight. More true crime coming soon. Good night.